we're gonna get into it, but like you're about to play in at EDC Vegas, which is notorious for the variety of music and the opportunity and like, you know, the art cars that go around. Like I saw the in rotation stage with like somebody like Cloverdale.
So they just announced that today, right?
Sick, bro. I know you've done a lot with Inro, and
dope.
like I've interviewed a lot of people who have released on Inro, and it's like obvious that they don't really care who you are, the size of, you know, your brand or your following. If you're making unique music and it's good, they want to give you a chance. And that's why people go to festivals, because they have a chance to discover new artists.
I was actually talking with my management team about this at EDC, but like that's a good thing that people do at EDC is like they kind of just like wander around, and because there's like you have these 8 different stages. So, you know, I expect most of the people on my set, you know, there will be people that know me and there are fans, but a lot of them will just be people that, you know, they're at EDC and, you know, maybe if they're just walking by and they stop in. And I think to me, that's really cool. It's like, you know, you get to play in front of people that maybe aren't your fans yet, but if you do a really fucking sick job, you can convert them. And like that, to me, that's like motivating. I'm like, fuck yeah,
absolutely. Do that. You get to be you too. You don't have to feel like you really need to cater to any sort of specific audience. You're not opening for anyone. Like this is your stage.
Of course. Yeah, exactly. You know?
Yeah, for sure, man. Amazing. So you ended up at North Carolina, like you said, or Duke, I'm sorry. And did you continue like pursuing music then, or were you kind of having a fun time in college? Like, what was it like for you then?
Yeah. So basically I'll give you the short story. So in high school, got into electronic music. I was like, this is sick. Had a friend that was into DJing. And in like New York, it's kind of hard to, I don't know. I grew up in like the city. Like all my friends lived in like apartment buildings. Like I'd never been to like a house before. So like, you know, when we were going to parties for like our high school, like the parties are either in someone's apartment, which is like usually ends up very poorly with like the police coming or like everything getting wrecked. But basically what these some of my friends would do is like they would rent out different venues around New York, like little like spaces. Like we rented like a synagogue and then like a community center. And we would like, I don't know if you go on my Instagram, I have a really good friend named Kyle. His Instagram handle is NYC Foodie 420, but I go fishing with Kyle and he's kind of like my tour manager a little bit now. But he was the one that he got a fake ID and he had a fake name and he would rent out these venues. So we would pretend like we were like 21-year-old college kids. And we'd throw these like little ragers in these basement with like 150 people, 200 people, make some jungle juice, like charge people entry and stuff like that. And that was like my first intro into like DJing, was like playing like just like progressive house and like Dutch house, like bangers to all of my classmates at the time in high school. So I was like, this is sick. And I was like, I really like being a DJ. I love performing. Like, this is amazing. I love like showing people music they don't know. And a lot of, so like, that's where that fuel kind of started for me. And at the same time, there was a class in high school called Digital Music Lab, where basically it was like 30 iMacs with like Reason installed, which is a program you can make music on, and like little keyboards and stuff. So I took this course, it's like half a year. And I kind of like learned like the basics of music production, like what does a compressor do? What does an EQ do? How does a synth work? How do you structure a track? Kind of. It wasn't even electronic music. It was just like production, like any music production. So music that theory. Kind of like, like music theory, like very basic, but like for a high school kid, I was like, this is sick. Like I wish every high school had a class where you could like learn music. I think everyone should have the chance to do that. But so I learned a little bit of production. I learned a little bit of DJing. So like going into college, I was like, I kind of had these hobbies, and I think I wrote my college essays about like mashups or something. I was like making these mashups, like some really corny shit, like, you know, the college essay, but like, it was like a big part of my identity at the time. It was like, I was like the DJ kid. And so, and I wasn't really like making like original music. I did try, you know, I still have some stuff on like my SoundCloud, like really private back, that's like 11 years old. That's like my first song. And maybe I definitely will put it out one day just to show people, because I think it's cool to see like the first terrible track you ever made versus what you can do now. But so I went to college, and like I kind of had this knack for producing electronic music. And it's actually funny. Here's a cool story. So when I got accepted to Duke, they made a Facebook group for all the incoming students. So like class of 2016, everyone was on Facebook. Everyone was like, what are your interests? Where are you from? Blah, blah, blah. And I think someone talked about DJing, and it's this kid named Spencer Brown. And Spencer's a kid from Texas, and at the time his DJ name was Spensa, like Spenca, and he made dubstep. He made heavy dubstep, and he got support from people like Rusko, people like AFK. I think he made tracks with. But we basically connected on Facebook. We're like, oh, we both like to make electronic music. We're both producers and DJs. And so when we get to Duke, he actually lives on in the same dorm building as me, and not the same floor, but the same dorm. And so like we still talk about it, we're still friends, but like he was kind of like the other producer that went to college with me. And he actually had a really good career while he was in college. He toured with Avicii and all this stuff. But yeah, it was he I think he got like signed to like Avicii's management, or I don't know, something like that. But now he's like kind of in the same circuit, which is just like a small little.
That was one of your first releases, wasn't it? 2016 with him.
Wow, how do you remember? How do you
Taking My Time?
You did your fucking research, bro.
Bro, you have no idea. I tiptoe the line of stalker and researcher.
I'm scared, bro. I'm like, are you outside my door right now? Yes, but he actually, I think, messaged me, in 2016, because I actually used to be. Before I was Westend, I was in a duo called C&T, and that was my producer friend from.
I was gonna ask that.
Yeah, that was my producer friend from high school. So yeah, I think when I started Westend in 2016, one of my first releases was a remix for Spencer.
Yes.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I went all the way back in your SoundCloud, dude. This is episode 182, Tyler. So I figured out how to get some good information, unlock some old memories, and
it's good though. I rather if someone's doing their research, that's when like the gold comes out and the good stories come out. So
yeah, man, it's just so much fun for me, like to like go through this journey with, especially someone like you. Like we could probably spend 2 hours just talking about your music. Because easy, bro. I mean, you've had well over 50 releases, probably closer to 60, maybe even above that, with remixes and stuff.
Yeah, I think Beatport for me is like probably the best, because like almost everything I do goes on Beatport. So if I needed to like count something, I would just go to Beatport and like count every single track. But yeah, probably close to like 60 or something.
It's pretty impressive, man. I mean, from your first release in 2016 till your most recent one, Life is Sin with Ranger, absolute banger, dude.
Oh, thank you, man. Appreciate it.
That's such a great track. Man, do I love Sherm in the booth. Oh, hey, I think you do too. Hope you enjoyed that piece of content. If you're looking for more, make sure to go to my YouTube channel and hit that subscribe button and turn on all notifications so you don't miss any upcoming Sherm in the Booth interviews, live sets, new music, exclusive artist interviews, Sherm's Word, sub-pack reviews, and more. This is your one-stop shop for everything entertainment. Cheers.